ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്. Analysis versus Masin 3-1. പൊക്കി ഓനെ പൊക്കി. അങ്ങനെ പൊക്കി. സെക്കൻഡ് ചത്ത്. ഓ ഓ എടാ ടെൻസ് ഒമ്മനാ ഓട്ടോ എടാ മൂന്നാൾക്കാര് ബ്രോ. ഓ രണ്ടാളവിടെ പീക്ക് ചെയ്ത്. ജോൺ ക്യൂട്ടി മാത്രം. ജോൺ ക്യൂട്ടി അതിനെന്താ ഹെവനില് ക്യൂട്ട് ഗാർഡിയനാണ്. ഓ ആ പീക്ക് സീനാട്ടോ. ആ പീക്ക് ഭയങ്കര സീന്. ഹൻസ് അവിടെ നല്ല കളി കളിച്ചില്ലേ. ഓ അത് മേളിലേക്ക് നോക്കി പൈസ അലസസ്. ആ ഓ അവിടെ കണക്ക് കൂട്ടുണ്ട്. 2.5 കിട്ടി മോനെ. ഒരു പുഷ് ചെയ്യാൻ കയറാത്ത നോക്ക് ബ്രോ. ആ കേറി രണ്ടാള് കേറി. ഇല്ല ഒരാൾ ഇറങ്ങി. ഓഫ് ആ പൊസിഷൻ നോക്ക്. ആ പൊസിഷൻ അടിപൊളിയല്ലേ മെർസ ബ്രോ.
Really just evaporated in the blink of an eye.
And a bit of miscommunication as well, because that was Celsius fragment grenade
Maybe
that he jumped on top of. You know, Celsius is using that to clear out hell, but it doesn't quite work with what Zekum was going for. And as you said, Brent, that should be all the danger in the round. We are having a fantastic opener to this attack half. And I would say Sentinel's defense has been better on Ascent than the rest of their map. It is one that they do like to get rid of in the map pool fairly early on.
And they AFQ.
That isn't actually going to hurt the economy to the extent that MIBR can't buy. That's not exactly what you want.
Yeah, I was just trying to do the calculation.
Mathematics
on the podcast.
Never a good idea, is it?
No, never a good idea, but it does look like they get the buy online. Still, would have liked to have had the guns. With Zelda's going down to JCZ, he does have his old map this round.
And remember, Sen lost a big rifle round because they tried to make an early round play with Zekum. A set defensive play that ended up walking into MIBR.
Bro.
Updraft as the barriers fall. He's going to be giving him the info that Zekum's just posted up onto Cat, so he's going to seek to reposition now with his operator. Want to try and get value, but they could be tough into the double controller comp. Contact clearance, here is your chance, and there it is! Striking by the Iron's Heart, that's all Zekum. Oh, this guy's got mechanical prowess out the wazoo. Here we go. 10 by MIBR. They want to try and go a bit more rapid, but they're really being stalled out by all this util. Anchoring player, that's John QT. Sassy's got this crossfire, and it's a flood of bullets. Stopping them from passing and getting themselves into the site, but eventually, finally, they're starting to cross in. Flash didn't connect. Paranoia, it misses. John QT, massive chance, a massive opportunity. The Flash supported utility. JJ's able to trade.
But decent work there from John and Celsius with the Flash, trying to set up a team for an advantage retake situation. What is that? What a shot from JSS.
It was a 4v3, but now it's turned into a 3v3. Potentially winnable for MIBR. No players off into B main, but it looks like Sen aren't aware of that one. Still spamming it. Paranoia goes rapidly now. All grouped up. Celsius, the difference maker.
Lovely flash. Great ult. Good cleanup. Sen needed that one. They can save an ult and an Odin. The rest of the team will have just enough to scramble together the buy. But their economy is still being kept very honest by MIBRs. Who are doing fine. Most people, when they're looking at attack side on Ascent, they're thinking, yeah, I mean, if we get 4, 5, we're doing good. Yeah, MIBR already up to that point. That timing is so precise for Zekken to get the opener right before Mazine's. Oh, all blooms. What a shot. But if Zekken is going to keep this operator online on defense, I do agree with you, Bren. He's going to find it difficult against the double controller. He's going to have to be very tight with the timings. Well, an updraft spots him the round before. Now the cam's spotting him as well. Zekken cannot get posted on catwalk.
Flash through into the smoke, gives up a bit of ground. He knows that they could have crossed. There's a flash to re-peek and re-clear. Adazine, good with a blind storms. At least he does clean up Celsius here with a classic. Zekken trying to go for this one, a bit of just peppering of damage. An attempt here, TP into the back of the side. GL spotted. Definitely susceptible there to a bit of spray and spam through, and the awareness of Sassy is off the bloody charts. This guy aware that they could have pushed up straight through mid. Now watchful eyes onto B main. Ghost plays right behind them, but this guy is tearing them to pieces. Don't stand a chance, man.
Look at how he pre-fires where he's expecting the trade to come from. Looking to try to tag them early through the wall, slow them down, set up the kill. That's an Odin main. All left to RGL. He ulted into back B site in the middle of the round.
That's why they know where he is. I mean, it's watchful eyes onto lane. It's all the angles, even the op as well for the peek out from RGL, which Second, I mean, he should just clean this up. Hello. Everybody faces. No disaster in sight here for Sentinels. Third round. Even, bringing it back.
Don't skip school for 10s. Stay in school.
Did not read that sign.
Black label.
Sen, really nice flash from Celsius at the start of the round to set up this first pick. But then Celsius doesn't quite manage to get the cleanup on the RC. Sassy though, fantastic individual ability to be able to pop all 3 of those kills up. And this has now turned the tide of the economy. Sen was being kept honest. That spree of early rounds was great from MIBR, but they now, with mostly sheriffs to their name, got to see if they can replicate that success from early on. I would say one of the big adjustments that Sen are making is that they are not looking for early round aggression necessarily. They're actually looking to re-clear and anchor. And it's somewhat similar to what they were doing on split defense in the sense that they're happy to give up quite a bit of space. You know, they're not playing to fight mid with Zekken, they're not playing to fight catwalk, they're playing to re-clear tree. I think that plays very nicely to the strengths of Ascent as a map. I am a bit concerned about 10's positioning right here. If they do end in an A split.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
He's quite out in the open.
Really out in the open.
If anybody, you know, a flash, a dog to take some tree control, Celsius is going to have to be real fast with utility to help him. But it looks like danger, could be averted as MIBR instead of going for that A split, grouping up for B.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds
all eyes
left.
onto the site.
There's
all eyes on Sassy.
There's not much time here, Brett.
20 seconds here. It's going to be a bloodbath. Finally with the smoke shot down. Commits there without a swarm. Nobody can really play the swarm. They're all being lit up, and he knows the precise angles. Counter spam is good. John QT back away here, trying to play for the life. The updraft flash play is almost fantastic. But the gun just a little bit better from John, and knows more time to get this plant down. This is a doesn't survive into the end of the round, so
and you can see that because Sentinels are bunkering down on the sites a little more, and maybe are
song
getting a bit lost here in
grenade
terms of how to create advantages before they hit a site.
പിന്നൊന്നാമത് ഒടിനുണ്ട് അത് ഇവർക്ക് അറിയില്ല ഒടിനുണ്ട് ഈ ഒരു കളി മാറ്റി
A mad scramble with 15 seconds into B is not often gonna work.
ആ ഒരു കളി മാറ്റി കംപ്ലീറ്റ് മാറ്റി.
The usual nature, I think, of MIBR's comp. I mean, we've seen a lot of these rounds start out with them trying to take that mid control to break the alarm bot. So they don't have a Sova to do it. Normally you'd have a shotgun lineup that just goes into the common positions and takes care of it. It throws that misinformation into the middle of the round for the defending team. But Sentinels, they're not having to push and pull players away until like 30 seconds into the round.
Yeah.
50.
And I actually think that even that approach of focusing on the alarm bot is a little bit off. Because if you think about how MIBR are trying to create pressure with the Viper wall, it goes down to threaten as if they could lurk into A. Now, if you take the alarm bot away from mid, that doesn't synergize with what you're threatening with the Viper wall. Actually, I think what they need to be doing is pressuring A at the beginning, get rid of the turret, and then they can threaten that they're lurking back into A later on. And that'll really put the squeeze on Sen. They're going to have to anchor players or play full retake A. And instead, John Cutie's just being able to get like a turret on A, or in the previous round, Tens was just stood on that tight angle. But I mean, here again, if you take a look at where the turret's positioned, this is just giving them constant information behind the Viper wall. And you've got to imagine it's going to stay up late into the round because MIBR have not really been pressuring it at any other point.
It's time to set up's changing, so Zekin's going to be opping straight down into mid. And it is a straight shot that's available to him from spots.
Oh!
Sensed it. You could feel it. Definite chance there with the Viper orb. Mid control for MIBR. Probably going to be either flashing or dogging straight through this. Looks like the Trailblazers committed. Making sure that they can clear this one. Second, it doesn't push him away from the angle long enough. He's able to just get that repeat with the dash. And he's straight out of there once more. Flash against the floors. Elsis. Artisan just having to face the floor as well to try and avoid this one. They are toppling.
Making MIBR look a little silly in this round. Zekin finds the same timing he did last time. Mazin picks up the orb in mid, re-throws it, Zekin peeks. And here's the timing on the turret being taken down, 55 seconds. John Cutie's setup was so that they could play retake A with the lockdown. And now they've just got such a player advantage, they can do whatever they like.
Just that, but positional as well. The advantage is all there. Straight shot miss, but yeah. It was Tens in main. That's what I was referring to and alluding to. Was able to just clean them up quite easily and quite nicely here. So Sentinel's taking the lead now in this map, despite the bit of a dire beginning. It's 4-1 to start.
Look at the timing there. It's again right as Mazin throws the orb. Zekin's about to get smoked off, and he goes for the peek, perfectly timed, right after the dog. And then as Zelsis throws that flash, Mazin's just admiring the pizza. Pepperoni, as he gets shot in the back of the head.
Getting hungry. First match of the day, plenty more to play.
So this is slightly different from MIBR. They're looking to take a main control very early. Tens has been tucking into wine in plenty of these rounds.
Almost a punish there. Feel it with the bullet tag slowing him down. Yeah, there is the punish. Chasing him down to John QT. Avoiding the bullets into the wall. And they pit so that they can fight the lockdown. Yeah, they want to try and take a fight straight to it. It's in that common enough position. FRZ, I mean, it just body blocks the molly. They're just running them down with the Seekers. It's pointing them towards some lockdown, eventually dealt with so they can still maintain this grip they've got onto the A side. The Studies players are scattered. Pit, still up. Reloads online. This is a really, really hard one to fight. If you are with the operator, do you really choose to still commit this one? All lined up. Potential chance for many more, but no instantaneous of the trade. Still 4 players left. It's an impossibility. There's really no chance here.
There's no way.
So much time to delay. JZZ, despite the low HP, despite everything against him, picks up the last 2 players. It's a thrifty round conversion for MIBR.
And because they decided to commit to that, they've just donated weaponry. So now MIBR's arsenal looking great. their economy back to blooming. They're going to be able to buy for sure for the next few rounds in this half. So we're going to see rifle rounds to end out our first half of Ascent. TenZ has been tucking into Wine a ton, and if they don't go and take A main control, it's fine. But you saw there how exposed he is if MRBR decide to group up.
Odin with the
And the pit for the lockdown fight was gorgeous.
TP forwards.
A tiles crunch, TenZ teleported into the smoke.
Attempt to spam forward, so TenZ's actually got a lot of deep mid control.
If the recon dart had pinged there, TenZ was going to try to follow up.
There's your timing. Mazine not expecting that or anticipating it, but his players right behind TenZ's. But how does he get out? Dropped, yeah. Doesn't expect AD97 to right be there.
And now you don't have smokes for any potential retakes, so it does put the squeeze on set.
Positioning notified with a neural theft.
A couple of the Sentinels players from B running out of the site so that they got pinged in that location.
This round's been thrown for a loop. Second, he's going to have to do a lot from this spot. MIBI have been quite diligent with the way that they clear this one. You're going to be expecting them to use some util. It's the same play. Knows it. What an adjustment. Nasty reaction times. And on top of that, the tag is just perfection. Almost with the 3. But RGL, he survives for just a moment. Enough to get this plan on potentially here. Bullets flying. Hunter's Fury used to try and clear these available angles into hell. There's the one tag. I don't know that RGL's there. Holding it down. 4 players here for Sentinels. FRZ, what can you do? RGL, maybe. Chance. Attempt for it. Spraying and forwards. Flash. Was that connection? Dropping down, but it's being held by Zelsis and Lovely. So job done by Sentinels.
Almost all of these rounds towards the second quarter have been lovely from Zen. The big question as we get closer to the halftime is, was the damage already done early by MRBR going 4-1 in the lead at the very beginning? Because since then, it's all been Sentinels the whole way. Their defensive setups were good, the operator's been finding so much impact.
Second just frying.
He's finding these amazing timings against a double-triple controller composition, even able to pick up one from Sassy's info there.
Let's go.
If MIBR can get another on the round, it will make the second half so much easier for them.
Updraft early on. Any anticipation? Zek actually waits it out. So it doesn't give that early info, but a jump spot eventually reveals him. He wants to post himself up onto this angle. Smoke! Oh my! Raw instinct. That's what's at work here. Great first kill. Smoke propped up. Pushing into the position. Dash now to evade. Dodge and repositions now. Gotta expect that one. Doesn't dodge the flash. Sassy's still there though. Locking down the site with the Odin play. They know that mid is compromised, but only 3 players left standing for MIBR. They're going to be finding it tough to get through this one. Or drop down and flash through. Doesn't connect onto anyone, and they just spotted the run through. It's all being pinged out and picked apart. Easy. Can't do anything, not with the Stinger. So flawless end here for Sentinel, 7-5. Fully in control of the latter half there.
Switching sides.
That first half of Ascent.
Yeah, they were looking incredible ever since MIBR went up 4-1, but again, that's just in terms of the rounds gained, a very good attack side for MIBR. They just weren't able to put anything together once the economy straightened out for Sentinels. Zekken having a blinder of a defense. And Sassy as well, looking so strong in these rounds.
We'll see what ends up happening as well as we head into this one. GB in the desk standing by to break it all down.
Thank you so much, fellas. What a half we just saw. Great ideas from MIBR and a great closeout from Sentinels here. And I kind of want to touch on that first, Athena, because it felt as if MIBR, that what they were doing with the Viper on A, it was working.
Yeah, I mean, like, they had that Viper wall that just completely obliterated that A site, and it actually just allowed the way that Artson to play to entry in any single direction that he wanted. So if you see over here, he gets onto that top gen, he actually fakes it and catches Zelsis off guard. And that wall just kind of put a wrench in everything. And after that, MIBR actually just started having so much success on that A site. They kept pushing, they kept getting it. The only round that they did not win was when Zekken was there to kind of save the day.
Yeah, again, Zekken tries to take contact on these site hits early. There's like a really small window that you have as a jet operator to find a shot before you're forced out by flash util or your line of sight is blocked by these smokes. Whether it's in mid, Zekken finding these little timings, or at A, it's been working out. And it has to be A for MIBR in so many rounds because of this, right? Sarsi's set up. It's not an easy site to hit anyway when a Sova has full util and an Odin. And I've got to say, like, the funneling MIBR into mid, into market where Zelsis or Zekken are waiting for them has worked really well for Sen.
Yeah, it's impressive to see how this Sentinels lineup adjusted when they needed to so quickly.
Yeah, I feel like they completely changed the way that they're playing the game. They made it early round and mid round heavy. They wanted to deny MIBR entry into those sites. Because the second that MIBR had sites, their post rounds were actually really good.
Yeah.
And so Sentinels was just like, yeah, we're just going to push. We're going to play a little bit more aggressive. We're going to start setting up Zekken and more of these aggressive lines and just make sure that they get those.
Hey, Zekken started heating up toward the tail end of that first half. He's looking to bring that momentum forward. And hey, maybe Sasi picks up a coveted win on Sova. We'll see. Let's send it back to Brennan's Sideshow.
Plenty of storylines left to follow for this one. One of the ones rattling through my head, though, is it going to be enough here with the rounds earned for MIBR? You got to think with their composition. Attack side ascent, historically, really difficult to try and work your way through. Pistol round might be deciding quite a lot of the fate of this map.
Knife over, clears wine. I'd be worried about RGL playing in that position, but he's playing to flash off Ardezin's contact. This just looking like a standard A push, where John Cutie can then lurk.
Gives full access and control for Sentinels. So they're up onto the A side. As this flank timing, 3 shots will do it. Half armor can't save you from that. Not even full armor, to be honest with you. Smoke, though, drops down. Flash through as well. There's many players playing inside the smoke. The callers made to just try and dominate these angles. The right clicks eventually ringing true. Ardezin, last one standing. The moment, calls being made, and yeah, no easy targets. Zekken bouncing around all over the place, crouching on the spot.
Quite a simple round there from Sen. Just deciding to go for the 4-1 execute, straight into A. Picking up RGL on the other side of the map is really useful, because the smokes are one of the most important tools you have for the retake. But I don't think it even came down to that. When everybody else accelerated, this forward pressure from Zelsis and Tens just carved through the retakers.
It's a nice idea, honestly, as well from MIBR for the deep smoke and the flash through to see if they could find themselves a cheeky pick, but Sen just one step ahead, and yeah, that dart reveals it all with the Guardian.
And there's no one else home. It was only JCZ to begin with, and he just gets wrecked by Sassy through a wall again.
Paper thin.
Playing with the Guardian, playing with the Odin.
You know, I mean, it's the Sova's dream if you're able to get those easy tags off. So the plan down, Zelsis prioritizing the ult for him.
Yeah, and I think Zelsis can also, you know, swap things around, take the Sheriff, go and hunt some kills, or take some friends with him, so that at least you don't donate the weaponry to MIBR.
Be looking to min-max these rounds out. Hello. Losing the fight out there versus the classics. Here it is, from his team. Close to the corner. Ardezin could really seek to punish, but he really just overplays his hand. So Tens. Okay, Tens, now you're 3 away from your ult. Zelsis is like, I needed those.
Yeah. Sentinels is like, let's load the kills into Zelsis. Tens is like, whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie, sorry, I killed 3 of them.
I got the kills. Well,
he's just accidentally too clean with it.
Yeah.
This recon destroys JCZ. Clean from Sen on the pistol and the follow-up. And that might end up being really important because, once more, Sen on the attack sides looked a little sloppy on split. It didn't look that amazing to clean the map up, and they had much more of an advantage than this. Use the variety of that KO utility to take a deeper knife and a flash off the beginning this time. Clear out Ardezin if he was trying to challenge A.
His test MIBR. See what their responses is. Now, they're not really set up for any re-clearance. Bay main. Just
Actually,
holding.
it looks like they're about to re-clear A main. Oh no, coming over towards Cat now that they've heard the drone.
Trailblazer was broken there, and yeah, drone straight through mid at the size timings here for second. It's taking all that space. It's actually taken out FRZ.
What?
Setup going down. Out wide. MIBR making a go of things here, but John QT was just off to the side. Sidesteps it, cleans it up. RG out. It's the only one left standing. Once more for this team here. Sentinels should just be straight up to 10.
That's a great attack round. Barring RGL pulling something ridiculous out here in the 1v3.
Paranoia has 2 smokes. Not opting to use any of them, hoping that somebody walks into a sight line. Drops down, there's a swing from second.
Okay, so they insert 10s into A main, and then Sentinels go back down mid. Zekken somehow gets a ridiculous entry kill with a Guardian over towards B, and that starts the reactions out of MIBR. Someone just walked into 10s in A main, because they're like, right, well, it's definitely a mid to B if Zekken's fighting this
Tens broke the Trailblazer, so they knew he was there.
Yeah, and they just walked straight into him. The rest of the team from MIBR trying to take a fight on Cat. It didn't work out for them. And Sentinels dominating that middle portion of the map and pivoting as they like between a B split and a catwalk push.
Sublime opening. Bonus round conversion. Dart. The flash. Cut to the corner here. Hearing some form of sound cues for the reposition of Mazine, so gets himself to safety initially.
Important for Zelsis there to get the ult orb.
The Sentinels, they might not shy away from using the ults to convert this round, despite the fact that maybe I don't have much money. That dart. Oh my!
Useful dash for Artzine to make his way out to market.
It had to be committed.
But you can see Seconds just kind of running around the map with the util terrorizing people.
It's a call now for them. Poking into mid. Realizing there's no close trips for now. Mazine. Gonna make a go at this one. Ult in his face. There's one. Flash. Forwards! Mazine! Rips away two. That really make things awkward now for Sentinels. What is the call to be made? They're gonna fight this one. Out onto Cat. FRZ with a stinger. Maintaining a kill. Upgrade.
Sassy's going back to defend the weapon.
Trying to, or at least defend the body. Maybe get Zelsis back up and online.
Can you really get Zelsis up here?
It's going for it. Smokes him off. Only 18 seconds left. It's tapping. Double phase tens! What the hell is happening?
14 seconds!
14 seconds. How do you get onto the site?
Do they even have time?
Get a move on right now. Rapid approach. 6 seconds. 5, 4. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Oh my God, it's enough. How have they managed to do that? Nail biter.
Milliseconds to spare.
It puts ADONIS into such a horrible situation. Doubled up, one player held. Zelsis close to Jenny. All anticipating for the drop down from that position. The door's closed. The options are narrowing for ADONIS to make a play. Has 2 smokes. Potentially cut this one up. Drops down, but his player's at his back, and that's 11%. Insane.
A reminder that was an eco round from MIBR. The Mazine turned into extraordinarily dangerous territory by just holding an off angle here and getting 2 of them into the flash. Nasty good attempt from Mazine, but this, the reaction to go and save Zelsis in mid, instead of having Tens and Sassy just play the round out in a 2vx.
Certified Tens moment.
I mean, of course BZK is going to feel like that. Bazooka is going to feel like that round got robbed away from them after Mazine set them up for the win. Because there were, again, milliseconds left on the clock.
A replay, slow down. I mean, how many milliseconds?
Yeah,
was that?
I don't know. I mean, last time we had a situation like that, I think it was Sentinels again on split.
John QT just held his composure, held the corner, and there wasn't enough time.
No. I'm sure the desk will be grabbing that clip to have an analysis of it. My word. So, Sentinels actually being able to run away with this one a little bit. We were talking about their attack half maybe being the area where they might struggle a little bit. I think there were some signs of that on split. A lot of the first kills went the way of MIBR. But after they've got the pistol and then follow up on the bonus works, Now Sen only need 2 more to close out this first game of play-ins and put MIBR away, at least for the beginning.
Backside up for Zekken. His counterpart's also got one. Trying to control up B main control, but Sen are just putting that focus into middle. Spamming with the classics, just in case it's a trip deep down into that angle. Dart as well, doesn't see too much.
There was a little re-clear there from MIBR of A main. So they've gathered some A main information and got RGL kind of posted up there, jiggle peeking. His cam is interesting too. Even if RGL loses info there, they can use the cam for mid-round.
Players grouped up back in mid here. Fuzzy, I mean, really just hunting for any bit of information here. You'd think they would rotate players with B main control the operator angle, but here we go. Paranoia sent flying. Pause into the round for Sentinels, but now they don't want to slow down. Close into the corner, tags up. Flash, Mazine could get spammed into that position. Got to be aware that there could be players out towards Generator. Yes, the movement, dodging, juking, sidestepping it all. MIBR seeking to really just stop this one with a hard angle. A flood defense play. JCC might be ahead of everyone. This team's already fallen. Plan for Zelsis. Grouped up into heaven. Sentinel setting themselves up now for the 12th round. Dog through into the smoke. Doesn't allow it to get it easily spammed. Stunned up. Sassy falls. Doubled up into hell. These players have to come up with more than the goods. They have to really come up with the win. Addison. Now he's alone on an island. Knows what the last 2 players are, but how does he force this fight easily? How does he force the fight easily? Well, it was taken straight to him.
John Cutie cleans up and Sen get up to match point. That round, they went for the A exec without having a dash online, wondering if they were going into a bunch of trips. And I actually love the way that Zekken baits the crap out of Tens. Tens went for the teleport in, and Zekken was like, you are dead, mate. I'm just going to try and weave my way through the rest of this utility. But the aggression, the 1-2 combo from Zekken and Tens makes sure that they make space, no matter what, for the rest of the team. MIBR have got to come out with something fast. Mazine pops down the pit, and that allows him to avoid getting tagged by that flash recon combo.
Safety there. It's flimsy at best, spamming into all the appropriate locations. The Sentinels will have to give up the main control. It's not part of the plan and protocols for this particular round. You've got to remember, they only need 1.
We saw FRZ in the previous round jump spotting over towards mid. Now he's got his setup there.
This angle is just disgusting, but RGL. Nasty, nasty shot.
Incredible awareness of that unusual position on top of Hart.
Great first kill for them. It's about surviving. Batten down the hatches if you are MIBR. Cam.
Look at how good this setup is as well, because even if FRZ's trip gets broken, the cam probably won't. Or the other way around, right? So he's able to call Sentinel's bluff. Oh, that's so good as well. Swinging as Zekken tries to break cam. Lovely little setup there.
30 seconds left.
Will be revealed now with the offloaded. 3 players grouped up into mid now. Feel it, but they've got the coverage here. Look at this crossfire setup. Which direction do Sentinels choose to go into here with a Paranoia facing them? Offloaded and used.
Up to heaven.
Was caught up to heaven and around here, but there's not much time left at all. And Addison! Masterful and a masterclass finish here for MIBR in this round. It is flawless.
But it's not that. That really matters, in my opinion. It's the fact that by dying, John Cutie and Sassy get their ults online. And now this becomes an extremely difficult round. Great shot. Great shot, great awareness. Not going to have your crosshair trained on that at the start on your swing. The adjustment's excellent. Like I said, though, Hunter's Fury, Lockdown, both online to start this round. And so MIBR upping the pace here would be a great idea.
Miles Crunch, up top into the smoky place, Addison! Addison dropping down, it's Return with the Fire, so Zekken brings him, and the follow-up onto RGL. The players are falling, deleted, and it's in the blink of an eye. Over, almost. MIBR have 2 players left.
But a lot more health than Zekken and Sassy have to work with. And they don't have access to that lockdown, which would really make things easier. Second has taken just no pause in the action whatsoever. How has Sassy won that duel with the Odin?
1 versus 3 for Mazine. This is to stay alive. Not just the map, it's the series here. Our opening match here at the play-ins. Of course, plenty more chances even deeper, but what a beginning for Sentinels.
And I can promise you, Mazine is not going to save this one.
There's no chance. This positioning is just impossible. Sassy, it's checkmate. He's got a Hunter's Fury into mid. There's no possible way to win. And Sentinels, with the opening match of the play-ins, they reign supreme.
Both of these teams looking for redemption in 2024. We thought the Sen would be the favourites heading into the play-ins. That Group B that they were in looked diabolical. But to be honest with you, it was clean here.
Yeah. There's always chances of it being like, potentially a little bit messy. It's a tight turnaround from one match to the next. When you're playing here first thing in the morning, not much time to prepare, but I mean, it firing all cylinders.
Yeah. After the first quarter where MIBR went up 4-1, after that it was all Sentinels all the way. Yeah. And Split, you know, a slight amount of sloppiness on the attack side, but generally, my big takeaway from Split is that defensive set is outrageously good. They're really paying off all of the work that they've done in the off-season. This team is looking like the real deal. I think G2 will struggle to stop them later on.
Sentinels now. Going to be taking it easy. One more match to play later on today. The third one of the day, but they do have time as well to observe their opponents. Watch the match. Pick apart. But the Sentinel City, they're going to be happy with this.
Extremely happy. You know, Sen, they're not even sure who they would face if they made it through the play-in either. The road to Madrid is still extremely difficult, but it had to include a win here in all likelihood. And I think they just showcased that, you know, they are on a bit of a different tier today to MIBR. MIBR played great throughout this kickoff, way better than I expected them to be. And I want to give them the props for that. They're still not out, of course. We could have some crazy one-to-one-to-one ties if MIBR are also able to beat G2 and then G2 beats Sen.
Plenty of possibilities for later on. That's slow down.
3 milliseconds.
0.03. Yeah.
Outrageous. Outrageous. Some great moments though. The chaos at times, but generally quite clean as Sen put away MIBR.
Yeah, really disciplined. I mean,
it's a long day though.
It is a long day.
They can't go home after that.
Yeah, you can. You got to stick around. You got to stay around for these teams, and I hope you stick around too, because we're going to be sending it down for the Verizon post-match interview. It's Liz who's standing by with 10s. I love him.
But do you heckin' love him? Because I think we all heckin' love 10s out here. Sen City is in the house, and 10s here with me. An incredible performance from you and your team. You are very loud, audience. Give it one more time. Does it
സൗണ്ട് പോവാനാ സൗണ്ട് പോയാ എന്റെ സൗണ്ട് പോയാന്നാ ഓയ്യോ എപ്പോ എൽസാ ഇപ്പോഴോ ആകെ സെക്കൻഡ് പത്തിരി മധുരം ഉണ്ടാവോ ഇത് മൊത്തം ബ്രോ ഫാൻ്റെ വെച്ച് തകർക്കും.
ability to not get mentally boomed. Yeah. Old MIBR, 23 MIBR, it would have been a wrap. But listen.
Well, if I'm being honest, I don't even know if 23 MIBR would be in this position to begin with, playing in a play-in, right?
I mean, yeah,
I think this
that's
team
certainly
has fundamentally proven that they are,
0.3.
further ahead than what that iteration was.
Totally.
But now we're just looking. Now they're going to need to dig deep.
And I'm going to need them to relax. The mid game. Listen, we talk about the banana.
honestly, even last night, he was looking like a monster in the server, looking really confident on the off, on this map especially.
He's continuing to ease into the role.
Exactly.
And he doesn't seem to be slowing down here. A 3-0 start for him already, a Phantom in the second round. Doesn't look like he's going to be challenged, at least at this moment in the round.
And he has a Phantom in light armor right now. Very confident in mid. And I like what they're doing here with the setup, G2. They're having the Raze and Sova play the middle of the map so they can fast rotate in. That's a huge cap.
And the paranoia to make sure nothing goes wrong. FRC Vols, the spike is going to slowly make its way over to B, but G2 already has its defenses. What's the window that they're looking for here? Looks like they're going to be able to get the spike down without any contest, undisturbed. And if nothing else, a little bit of financial gain for the attacking side.
Very cautious play from G2, allowing the bomb to get down, setting up the retake.
They're historically very disciplined.
Look at how slow they're taking.
A ton of respect for their opponents, and then they strike when everything is perfect, and that's exactly what Leaf has done.
They should be aware of market. There it is, Jonah. Cleaning the round up. G2 clean. Anti-eco round. And Raze Rocket already online for the likes of Leaf. And that's why they're putting him in this mid-rotation spot, so he's able to be at the fight faster. Cleaning up all these kills.
The investment of the Phantom that we mentioned was perfect. You're right, 6-0 so far. He's got the ult online. Plenty to be happy about for Josh.
Yeah, he's writing that one down. That one worked. Another strat in the book. Look, looks like we're setting up for an early B fight here with the Raze Rocket. Oh, and I think they're going to show Ruba here on purpose, and he might lean very, very early here to that A side of the map. Feinting where the Raze is already. Let's see if that comes to fruition.
And Dre, you were right. He's already halfway across the map.
There you go. Look, and he's going spawn. And that is all deliberate. Roomboing, showing where he is early. He's aware that MIBR knows he has the Raze Rocket, changing his position. But MIBR, understanding that, potentially.
Cover going out.
Or they're nothing if not stubborn.
Yeah.
Paranoia exchange for a dog.
Oh, but
they can pop out mid.
Off the drone, does he pop rocket?
He has 2 satchels. Discipline for now.
That's pretty wise, because even though you get that info, there's so many corners that you have to clear. And they broke that drone pretty early on there when it came out of that smoke.
Choosing to hang on to the payload for the time being. MIBR is going to lean over towards A.
Look at G2, just super worried about any type of mid lurk. This time, though.
I mean, they've got to respect it.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
You saw how bad they got punished in the previous series against EG.
Oh, it's one found, but it's traded. Thought he was going to be able to get away with more. MIBR countering here. 2v2, spike in hand. It's just a tap. It's just a threat.
Time's running low here, Doug.
If they can stabilize, they should still be able to get the spike
Let's
down.
go bring bomb. And just as I say that, FRZ flicks right in time.
Ned in a 1v2. Bulldog in hand, no armor, not a ton of health. MIBR on the board.
MIBR taking the fight there to Net, understanding that he probably rotated in time since he didn't come up that lane. Catching him off guard. And it's small things like that that make a difference in these 2v1 scenarios and these 2v2s even.
Take a look at that play one more time. Leaf just continues to perform.
Going 1-for-1 in that moment isn't that bad, honestly. It's still favoring the defense there. Trying to break through that post plant. And just so many Viper walls here at the A side of the map.
And the defensive one is super aggressive.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's a great shout because, again, another thing that G2 struggled with on this A side of the map against EG was the A fight that kept happening to them. So you're seeing so many small adaptations being made, but very powerful ones. Trying to match Viper walls.
MIBR with 3 mid. And Jonah Peace waiting just on the other side. Imagine there's a call for a smoke and they lend and lean towards B. There's a smoke. He hears everything. It's going to be a fight on 2 fronts, but Net instantly falls. There's Jonah P. Leaf joining in on it. What a play!
Clinical. Off of contact. 2 people pushing through the smoke, but FRZ hasn't had enough just yet.
No, I mean, there's still plenty more on the other side if he wants to go back for it.
Oh my gosh.
He's gotten it down to a 1v2. Notice health. It's not great. And they're just sitting on the spike. They don't have to move here.
Oh, I like this from FRZ. Throws the cage. Pops a little early, but...
No, they know. Look, Leaf is already
Leaf
turning
is ahead
back.
of this.
Well, that was almost bad. Trent snaps on him though. G2 get to a third. I think, again, Jonah P's positioning there, his playmaking, as soon as he hears they're rotating through, strikes, that's a gorgeous setup.
Yeah, and normally when you're in that position, in that top mid smoke, if he's alone, he's not going to go through, but he had Leaf with him. And Leaf right now sitting at 8-1 gives you even more confidence to make plays like that.
Yeah, it certainly seems like the approach for G2 early on this defensive side is you're okay with giving up mid, knowing if you lose some of that space, you still have contain on either side.
Yeah, and as you say that, they're already changing the pace. Leaf looks like he's going to get a little bit aggressive here in the mid area. Might walk out. Ah, great job breaking early cam. Gonna have to have MyBR use more utility or jump spot like they did just now.
Not a great buy for the attack. A Bulldog and Vandal.
And look at this. MIBR definitely watched that EG game because they have gone mid. What is this?
Almost every round.
3 rounds?
Yeah.
Out of 4 so far?
But again, G2 are fine to give that space up.
Very, very aware now that this was a gap that was abused in previous series. Jonah P has the Soval. Don't think he'll invest it into this round, but if bomb ends up being put down on A, you might see it.
They have to suspect that somebody could have slipped the net here and gotten in Artzine's position. Trent wise to it.
Wow.
Discipline once again on display.
And to make these adaptations this quickly with like a day turnaround
is impressive.
It's very good. And that's what makes this G2 team so dangerous, right? Is that they are constantly adapting.
Paranoia got tagged a little bit.
Okay.
See some of the spits keeping them back. Remember, the buy wasn't great for them.
Yeah, and this is all just delay. They're showing utility, acting like they're going to retake, but it's all to set up Leaf here on this flank. And he's perfect.
And again, G2 strike at just the right time. Man, it seems like they're being... okay. It seems like they're being really patient with how they want to approach some of these retakes and stuff like that when they do get into post plants. But it's perfect every time. It's never rushed. It's never half a second late.
Yeah. And they're also waiting for the aggression from MIBR to see if they're trying to disrupt. They're ready for it, right?
Yep.
Not getting caught out by anything silly in this series so far has been G2. But I gotta say, Doug, you know, we had the pleasure of casting that match of G2 versus EG, and G2 looked phenomenal in the beginning.
Yeah, they did.
Can they keep this up is the true question and the true test to how good this team can be.
Against an MIBR that comes in a little bit more worn, already having lost a series on the day, having to play another one back to back. It's demanding and it's taxing on the mental.
It definitely is, and when you're in a spot like that where you've already lost a series previously and you don't have a great start like this, that could play factors into your head. You know, you might be doubting yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doubting, do I belong in Madrid?
Our team does not belong on this site. I mean, Trent just drops them. That was their spark too, and again, you see G2 comfortable playing in this push and pull. They get the kill onto the raise, and then they take a quick step back.
There's that Soval off the tap of the bomb that I was saying in the previous round.
Almost gets RGL there.
And look at this. Full control of mid and the flank.
They're just surrounded.
Wait, Leaf just satcheled over the trip. He has the timing right now.
Even if Trent or Jonah P destroys it, which he does, you wouldn't expect this fast of a swing.
Wow.
Mazine gets him anyway. He gets them both.
Heroics from Mazine.
FRZ playing up close. Numbers in favor of the attack side. Trent weak. Trent dead. Valen joins in on it. That's another round for MIBR.
And just off of such a micro mistake, a timing mistake from G2, Leaf was past that trip. MIBR had no idea. Jonah P breaking the trip a little bit too early there. Allows Mazin to be aware. And then Rocket, can we just agree that Rocket is a fake ult?
It's got to be.
What was that? It looks like he blew him up, but clearly not. Regardless, MIBR take that round. But yeah, that was such a great timing that Leaf had. Nobody was in the Satchel sound range, right? He would have cleaned up.
Yeah. And that wasn't the first time that Leaf goes on a late flank. This time G2 wanting to put the aggression towards B main. You've got a paranoia set up. They're all there. Leaf has a guardian on this. This is going to be a little bit tougher, but they push forward anyway. Look at this right at their feet. Oh my gosh. Fallon with 2. Although the middle of the map has been exposed. Mazin has crept his way into market. Fallon is standing right next to him, and he does not know.
Oh my gosh.
Snaps at just the right time. The third on the round for him. A weapon upgraded and full control for G2.
What a juicy nade from Leaf at the start of that round.
I mean, all of it. The call was great.
It even looked like MIBR was very aware that there could be a push. FRZ was spamming that smoke.
They ulted here in a 3v1.
Yeah, they really don't want to lose any of these up number rounds. They don't want MIBR to even think that they have a chance at having a clutch play.
And I think that's the compelling thing about this team is we've talked so much about they're disciplined, they're careful, they're methodical, they're drilled, they have all of those things which are good. Not sparing any expense in a 3v1, you know, things of that nature. But then they also do things like that opening play where they push full aggro, they send Leaf in with Fallon and everything. Like, there's so much depth to this squad, and it only seems like they're getting better with time.
Yeah, and it's exactly, time is the main factor here, right? Because the team that we saw, the G2 that we saw at the beginning of this tournament looked very, very timid. Didn't really do a lot of the things that got them into the league in the first place.
Yeah, 1000%.
But now, you know, understanding who they are, we are that team. You know, this is who we are. We play like this, and taking advantage of that. Ags are scared of G2.
I mean, they should be. From what we continue to see, an early pit invested by Trent, shutting down the western side of the map, and if that's not enough, the Cypher util going into market's not going to make things any easier.
So cautious about mid is G2. Leaf getting early info here on the A lurk. That causes Jonah P to come back, but at the same time, MIBR is working up into this market area. But look at this trap play.
There's all that util they're going to have to get through, and it seems like it's really not their concern right now. Clearing some of it out, and then turning their attention mid. Trey, I feel like we've seen this before.
Absolutely.
Exact same setup. Previously it was net, but it's the same setup.
The spam comes through from Jonah P.
This time the Seekers are going to help. They're going to push them back for just a little bit as net falls. Jonah P still spamming on the receiving end of a stray. This time it works for MIBR. What?
30 seconds left.
You just Kobe'd him.
Fallon can still make a massive play here. And Leaf still has ult. 9 HP. Dancing behind the walls, and he hears all of this. It's a Phantom he can spam, and he wouldn't get punished, or he just waits. He buys his time, pops the ult. 13 seconds left. It does connect. Is there going to be enough time for FRZ to do anything? 6 HP, 6 seconds left. He's got to commit. Holds his ground. Trent is so healthy, and the Molly misses by the tiniest of margins, but the second time does not.
Heat-seeking Molly from Trent there. And honestly, it did not have to get that close.
Maybe
a little bit too confident on the repeat. All he needed to do there was just jiggle the ball.
Yeah, FRZ was also nice with it to get him to that point, but you're right.
What a comeback into the round from G2. And you pointed it out, that Omenal. That's what brought it back.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
The tiniest of timings.
Nice! Let's go.
And that 2 HP being the difference maker.
I knew it, bro. I baited the
Look at Leaf sitting at 12 and 4.
And the hot start for the duelist continues, man.
Yeah, that's the second showstopper of this match so far. We're only 8 rounds in, going into our 9th. That's insane, man. Jonah P already getting to another Sova ult as well. These two have just been a dynamic duo right now for the likes of G2.
if you're MIBR, what do you make of the exact same hit? Yes, I know the Seekers was there as well, but when you look at that, do you look at that and interpret that as like there's not a ton of depth to their protocols and they're kind of reaching towards the bottom, or they felt more confident because they had the Seekers? What are your thoughts on that?
I truly believe that MIBR's game plan going into this was to abuse mid, yeah? And they used Seekers that round to do it, and it worked out for them, but in reality, G2 has made strong adaptations into controlling this area of the map.
Yeah.
And if I was them, I would understand that, okay, this playing aggressive in mid default, like into the defending spawn almost, is just not working. I gotta change something up. Maybe I should test out the A main area of the map. Maybe I should test out more of B main and then go mid late, perhaps. Because right now they're getting nothing.
At the beginning of the round, there were pings on the minimap in the defensive spawn. From the attack side, RGL has his ult too. Maybe they scale up that way.
Look, just early mid aggro again from MIBR. Just really trying to force it.
Same smoke, same push. This time they don't commit. But Valen hears all of that. Drops the one way. He's getting a little bit overwhelmed.
Great trade.
Paranoia's not going to connect net. Patiently waiting. Expecting reinforcements, and they are on the way.
Welcome to my world.
Leaf, again, pressing the issue on the flank.
Spike planted.
Throws a nade and goes back to market.
And it did push him back in a little bit. They're not going to be able to take that space though because of where FRZ is.
Exactly.
How do you dance around the pit long enough to maintain control? With utility all at your feet, Trent pushes forward, foraging in, defining the most prioritized target he could. Almost drops him. But it's still in play. He has to take a step back. That's going to drop the pit. A 2v2. It's just a tap from Net for now.
Net still has a cage.
He's daring the swing, but they're disciplined. They don't look. Not convinced of what's on the other side. Trent's going to have to do it on his own, and he cannot.
And I think had Trent actually killed Mazin there on that first peak, if he had committed,
it's a game changer.
yeah, that whole retake might be different.
Yep.
And the subtle change from MIBR into this round, yeah, they're working up mid again fast. But as soon as they break that market trip, they're going, as soon as they break that top mid trip, they're going fast in the market. So a small adaptation, because they understand that G2, once that mid trip is broken, are rotating 2 people to cover that mid area of the map. That leaves a gap, right? If there was 2 people on B, one of the people is going to come over, try to pick up that top mid.
Leaf with the op for the first time. Trained across the middle of the map. They have contacted up here the last couple of rounds.
Wow.
But this time they dog. The op shot does not connect. Artson very quickly pushing. Almost accidentally catches onto Leaf. The nade does push him off the angle though. So many numbers here for G2. Early Paranoia is going to buy a little bit of time as Val punishes RGL.
What a timing.
The leader continuing to push forward though. They have not found enough space to commit to getting the spike down, and it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better. JZZ on his own. With a flash on the swing, buying some time, daring the challenge. The first one falls. No other util. They're going to swing him! And JZZ with the Red Bull clutch!
Now there's some serenity.
Heartbreaking for G2. It seemed like they did everything right. Net with a laser beam, killing everybody that peeked from default. But they couldn't close it out. And JZZ, who I was going to call out, at the start of this round had 1 kill. Gets a nice 1v3. And these are the moments that break this G2 team down. Is losing these up number situations because, again, they know they should be winning these.
Instant timeout called.
There it is. And I like this. This is a great timeout from the likes of Josh for his team. Trying to keep them in the game. Don't lose focus. Yeah, it happened. It is what it is.
All good. Move on. Yeah.
You're still sitting pretty nice here. 6 rounds on the defense. And we know G2 so deadly with balance calling on attack. So this is a really great half they set up. And for the likes of MIBR, A great comeback. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like we've seen this before somewhere.
It's really easy too. If you're MIBR again, they come into this series having lost one, and not just having lost it. I mean, they got destroyed.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Right?
Yeah.
For them to still have enough of a spark to keep this in competitive is impressive. They continue to show fight, and that's what keeps them down 2 rounds, and heroics certainly help.
A lot of success has been made so far for MIBR on this B side of the map. So I wouldn't be surprised if they think that G2 is going to read into that and change their setup. But G2 already ahead of the curve in that aspect. Look at that. They're expecting MIBR to change their strat.
Just a page ahead in the book.
And they have this better trap setup. It's going to be all off of Trent's contact, I believe.
What's the swing on this though? I thought Valen had a paranoia set up. They're surrounded. There's the paranoia, but it's a little late. They punish anyway. Net almost dropping both. But space has been found. Jonah P's left alone. He might be able to upgrade a weapon, but they know where he is.
Okay, he chooses not to commit the Sova vault. I think that's pretty wise into this round. But he did break the trip, so MIBR should be aware.
He chooses not to upgrade the weapon. He just tries to take the swing towards JZZ, and he's dropped. That 1v2 was going to be hard no matter what.
Last round.
And honestly, again with this A fight from G2, it just doesn't seem like the Omen Flash gets as much. It just doesn't get as much value from this right side, right? From this lane side.
Yeah.
I like how they were set up, but a little too antsy. They needed to give it more time. I think they expected a faster paced round from the likes of MIBR.
Now 3 rounds in a row for them as they continue to keep this competitive.
Seekers online again for MIBR. On the flip side, you have Cypher ult, Omen ult, and Sova ult for G2.
Pretty considerable tools.
Jonah's not really in a spot to use this ult, so just playing the first layer of getting contact, a little crossfire setup here. 3-man market setup.
Yeah, they're showing a lot of respect, aren't they? The drone is going to confirm there's nothing mid.
This is great IGLing from the likes of MIBR. Understanding that they went towards A the last time with the main pack, feinting it this time with the dog, and they're already towards B.
Zine is a late work. They're going to invest the paranoia, drop it out towards B. Are they going to flip the map at this point? They have nowhere to go now. It seemed like they wanted Ande, but Mazine dies. JZZ does too.
30 seconds left.
MIBR are thrown into disarray here. I don't think they know where they want to go anymore.
I think they're second guessing, triple guessing, quadruple guessing themselves into this round, but ultimately they still get the bomb down on the B side, which probably could have happened at least 40 seconds ago.
Trent has pit. Valen has his ult too. Patience from FRZ. Lands the shots on the leaf.
FRZ's been so clean so far.
What do they try to do? They try to pit out and then play around it?
I think your best... I was going to say, I think the best bet is to Viper's pit into the BB area. Have those guys below.
Instantly got spammed. And Valen's going to find the same result. A 6-6 half. What's that? 4 rounds in a row for MIBR? A great response.
Switching sides.
G2 letting it slip away again. Still a great half. That was such a big kill. Arts in there onto net. Had net gone down, not gone down. Numbers were in favor for G2. It's a little antsiness coming from the likes of G2 and in those up number situations.
6-6 half. We're going to throw it back to the desk to break down what they've seen so far.
Thank you so much, fellas. Overall, good to see MIBR rally at the end there, be able to just make this thing into a 6-6 alongside G2. But let's dive further into this because there have been some great ideas here from G2.
I was kind of, honestly, big credit to MIBR for actually pulling it back towards the end.
It wasn't looking good.
No, it was looking less than not good. It was looking very bad. It was tough. Like, we pulled up a few rounds here. Early on, G2 were doing a great job shutting down MIBR in mid. That's what they were trying to exploit, and they took care of that. And then just a bit after that, some more crucial rounds came up here. This little, we're about to see there's like a trap play on an eco round, and G2 converting that then into the next round. We're able to break their economy off that eco round, and it ended with that silly play with the molly. But this string of rounds, it's like, okay, this is over. They break their economy, win that next round, and then their economy's booming, and MIBR bring it back.
Yeah. It's super interesting, too, because I really think, especially after that timeout, after that eco that you're talking about, that MIBR ran out of ideas with that.
Yeah, you even heard Duggan Babyface say that.
Yeah, I was thinking, literally, the way that this is playing was a game plan difference right off the rip, because I think G2 was like, everybody walked up mid on us. They're going to do the same thing, and we're going to be ready for it. So we saw, 3 rounds where they tried to go up mid, and it looked nice. I actually thought the execute that MIBR was trying to throw at them with the raise satcheling on top of the box to try to get net down and somebody peek down below was like really nice, but it just doesn't quite work. So I'm really curious how they managed to really recoup that, because again, after that mid push got snuffed, the eco round trap play that they threw at them, again, threw it for a loop. I wouldn't have had any more ideas.
Hey, well, they're going to need to figure it out here. 6-6, not a bad position to start from here as you flip the sides. Let's send it back over to Doug and Baby Bay.
A tense tie, halftime on Sunset. Still plenty of Valor to play, though. G2 now on the attacking side. See that Viper wall towards A, right at the very beginning. Very similar, very reminiscent to what we saw in the previous half, too.
Yeah, and MIBR with a very interesting wall here onto the B site. Very, very passive wall. Trying to cut the site in half and just stay alive for as long as you can.
Mid again, huh? This time it's a little bit inverted. The smoke, the dart, the swing, but MIBR ready. Walk away with the numbers advantage as JZZ finds again the perfect time to strike.
And with this Viper wall, nobody should be dying from the likes of MIBR before the rotate comes in. And as I say that, Valen almost gets a collat with a classic.
That is still healthy on this. Z and JZZ are not.
Everybody one-shot headshot for him at this moment.
He's outnumbered, but it's winnable. Can Net pull it off?
Taking his time on this.
Such a big pistol. Given it the stakes in the tournament where we are, he's careful.
This would be a huge kill. I think JZZ spotted him on the jiggle there.
I mean, if you're MIBR, you don't give him ones, right?
No, you
try to double, triple face him.
Net is aware that this wall should be blocking him off, so he should be playing pushed up. And he just gets taken out by Mazi. Nice shots. Both teams ready. Pistols in mid. Both teams ready for the pistols in mid. That's a huge, huge round for MIBR.
I like the setup. I like what G2 were trying to do there. I thought it was very well done. But again, much like we talked about in the first half, once you get into positions like that, it's just about who's got the shooters.
Yeah.
And in that situation, it was MIBR.
Exactly. And honestly, Leaf had the one up on first contact on I believe it was JZZ.
It was darted?
Yeah, he chose not to fully commit to the fight. He second-guessed his peak and tried spamming him through the wall.
This is big from G2. They're investing.
If I'm MIBR, I'm not expecting this whatsoever.
No, why would you? How long can they conceal it?
Oh, here's the punish.
But there's a trip that's keeping him back.
Barely survives. Info gained now from MIBR. That is a force round. And you already see the rotations coming in.
I think there was only one stinger that shot, so maybe they can still conceal this a little bit longer, but no, they've got to know that it's up now, and MIBR hold the line. They do not relent. They do not give up an inch.
And they just couldn't break the trip. in the choke, Doug.
That's where you see the value of Cypher, right? And you see why people are starting to run him so much more. A flawless round for MIBR at just the right time.
Poor Leaf, he was stuck in that trip for about like 10 seconds, it felt like. Not that long, actually, but...
It felt like it.
You saw him throwing the satchels, but he just couldn't find it.
See if we can take a look at it
entire
again.
round.
Yeah.
From start to finish from that hit.
He didn't get to play the game.
And I'm really curious if it was the likes of MIBR that maybe shot the satchel before it could explode the trip. Because there is that 1 second timer that the new satchels have that before it does no damage.
Yeah.
The crowd getting hyped for G2. Trying to give him some energy.
They've got a stinger to play with still. And then 4 sheriffs.
Net's going to get first contact here in market, but there's a crossfire here. Oh, trip was broken. Great job from Net there.
A deafening silence across the map.
Oh, RGL definitely heard more than one footstep here. Let's see if the rotation will come through. Sky's already leaning here.
That seems like that's all it is for now. Ard's impatient, playing across the middle of the map with a bulldog. Does that flash the queue?
Info gathered, but you don't know how many, right? And that's the difference between Sova and Sky. Sometimes you can hear multiple people trying to shoot the dart.
G2 have very quietly gotten really far up on this. They're ahead of the smoke. They know that there's somebody back there with the paranoia. The nade slid his feet. RGL continues to keep him back. He's been able to hold the line. How much more can he do? A second found. Now control gained, at least for a little bit. Play from Trent, but they're so weak. Can he do it again? Valen is there. Trent will fall. Valen on the counter. 13 seconds left. FRZ is on the dirtiest of flanks. Valen finding cover behind the Jenny. Early peek, nothing found, having to guess. No real idea of where the opposition could be. As the spike ticks away, the steps are taken forward. Valen guessing.
This is all mind games, Doug.
Cam right at his feet, and there's the spam.
FRZ's so patient.
Standing on the smoke, he spotted a shoulder. He knows where he is. What a swing and what a shot for Valen! The 3K from the leader!
Unbelievable, Doug.
30 seconds left.
And I said it, right? It was all mind games. Valen this time, stone cold confidence on that wide swing.
With a stinger.
And the stinger can be so deadly in this situation because it shoots so fast. The time to kill on the gun is very strong if the headshots come through. And they did. That's a huge, huge round, Doug. MIBR looks so solid up until Trent.
That 2K was everything.
Massive.
There's an op in the hands of FRZ.
There.
And it looks like Valen's about to find out. Yep.
Wow.
Remember, MIBR were in this position just a few moments ago, and it was heroics, it was antics. That got him back into that. That just seems much more difficult this time around.
Poison orb emitting.
And just MIBR just getting the first bloods everywhere on the map this round.
Yeah, and this feels a little reminiscent to the approach that G2 had in the previous round, right? They were very quiet, and yes, they were in bunches in the previous round, but the idea being similar, it feels like, Dre.
Yeah, and that's exactly why you saw FRZ pick up the op, which you don't really see Cyphers doing, but when you're going against a team that loves to contact, and to be fair, contacting is a great strategy, and G2, honestly, I feel like they really brought that playstyle into light. I know when I was playing professionally on FaZe, we would watch G2 and be like, wow, they just walk into all this space. And if the opposition isn't ready for it and they're not there, you get so much free info. But MIBR being wise to that, buying an op, holding the aggressive walk-in angles that we saw earlier. FRZ just catching him off guard. Who ops on Cypher, man? When was the last time we saw this?
Well, what's interesting, too, I'd love to get your thoughts on this because it seems like, or it feels like, Contact just seems to work a little bit more on Sunset. And I don't know if it's because it's a new map. I don't know if it's the design of the map, but this does seem to be more effective compared to other maps.
I think especially towards the A side of the map, when you have the Viper utility there, it's a lot easier to contact and try to take 50-50s. And 50-50s for attacking the side, you always want that. Because if you're able to win that, it opens up the entire map. So maybe then the mid lurk can come through, right? Then you contact in the market. Bunch of different things you could do off of those plays.
I do like this out of G2, given the extended time that they had at the end of the round, talk things over, go straight into a timeout. Just buy yourself a little bit more time to discuss the situation. Down 2 rounds on attack.
And I think what they're discussing right now is like, what are we going to do against this op? Because now you get to think, okay, is FRZ going to hold on to this? Are they going to give it to Artsine, who we've seen be very good with an op? And these are all things going through your mind. And when you're playing against an opping Cypher, it's almost like you don't want to shy away from it. You kind of want to find him, right? Because you can't escape.
No, you punish if you can.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe we're going to see another slow approach to this round from the likes of G2, trying to maybe find out where the op is, or potentially just going straight into a site hit, not even dealing with trying to find out where the op is at all, right?
And maybe you get lucky, you find out where it is, and you're able to punish and overwhelm.
Exactly.
Well, we'll see how things play out. MIB are currently scrambling to get to their positions with some time to spare. And it's that same wall that we saw in the pistol.
Look at this from FRZ. The mind game, switching his position. I'm really curious. Is he going to go for a passive angle onto this elbow area?
Come into the unknown.
I wonder, get aggressive here.
I wonder too if Artsine was going to satchel him up somewhere, but that wasn't the case this time.
That would have been so cool, Doug. Here it is. That aggressive Cypher. He's going to have info on this line for most of the game. That allows MIBR to play this heavy and mid B setup.
This again. What? They tried to get a timing into the smoke, and it's disaster.
But you know what's crazy, Doug? They tried to get the timing, but MIBR pushed their own smoke first. Taking the timing to them. So aggressive.
Scout destroyed.
Dog only spotting one, but I mean, you've seen plenty in the round to understand where the threat lies.
Oh my gosh.
Putting a bullet between the eyes of Valen. But Nets are on the trade. The tough thing when you're down in numbers like this, Trey, is it feels like, okay, you've gotten in the middle of the map, you've gotten into the swamp, but now what? Right? You don't have a ton of space anywhere else.
Info gathered from G2. But you're 100% correct, right? And
30 seconds left.
Look at what Artsine is doing right now. He's backing up all the way into A, so this is actually pretty favorable for G2. They want this. This is perfect. A 2v2?
Yeah, you're equalizing numbers.
And they could be coming from anywhere. Spawn, B main, mid. They could be wrapping A.
And they win. He spikes out. They're separated net. A 1v1 on the site will not go his way. MIPR gets to 10.
And this entire round is just formulated off of FRZ getting that deep A line with the op, denying any type of lurks on A. He did not have to worry about lane the entire time.
I mean, he never
had
moved.
a trip there.
Yeah, he never moved.
Yeah, and that allowed them to play this heavy mid B setup that just G2 just walked straight into. I mean, isn't that crazy though? They're holding the smoke, and MIBR are the ones that push in.
A step ahead.
And we're talking about shooters, man. MIBR woke up. Looks like a very similar setup as the last round. Not changing anything.
Well, I mean, they don't have to on the A side, right? They never saw anything. A paranoia, a flash, a satchel forward, doesn't connect, but the Vandal does.
Oh my god.
And once again, a slaughter across the middle of the map. Spike out of hand. The one benefit is Leaf has somehow snuck his way into the back of the site. Maybe a weapon upgraded because surely Mazine doesn't hear him.
Oh my gosh.
One enemy remaining.
Quickly crumbles though into a 1v3 with the Seeker in his face. Position given away. Spike not in hand.
FRZ pushed all the way through A this round. But as he should.
Again, they still haven't seen that setup. They still haven't seen where the trips are, the cam. They don't know when op is on that side. So MIBR are able to continue to conceal this setup.
Yeah, I do think they, now, after this round, they should have an idea. You know, like, even Leaf right now, like he's gone through mid twice now, right? They've gone through market, they've walked through, and they haven't seen any of the trips, so they should know at this point that the Cypher is playing towards that A side of the map. But now that happened, maybe a change of setup from MIBR, who so far this half have been very, very unpredictable. And it's catching G2 off guard, right? Pushing through a smoke dry. Now you're doing a pop flash through it.
With the paranoia too.
On the first layer of timing, yeah.
There were so many layers to that setup, and then the ult.
Catching G2 completely off guard with these, honestly, very aggressive defensive plays.
If memory serves me right, G2 have won 1 round since that 1v3. Just one. All the way back to that first half.
Something just happens with this G2 roster when they lose rounds they know they should have won. They have a hard time bringing it back.
They're still in this thing though. Although the window of opportunity continues to get smaller. JZZ on the swing the paranoia again. And this time there's not kills, but they punish.
And you were just talking about it. Like, look at how they're chaining their utility. Sky Flash, Omen Flash, off of contact, right? No value from it this round, but I mean, had G2 have been pushed up a little bit further, I mean, they're dead. So dangerous trap plays. But now G2 should have the confidence to hit this Omen site, understanding that he doesn't have that flash anymore. Well, that's not a factor.
They're trying to throw a little misdirection too. They just put the orb A and the wall up at the same time.
Cover going out. But there's a problem here, Doug. They're not breaking any of these trips.
Right. There's not enough to convince. As gunfire erupts in market, G2 walk away up.
I know exactly where you are.
Seems alone on his site, manages to find safe passage out, but he decides to take the fight. I thought he was just going to wait for his teammates. An ill-advised challenge leaves MIBR down in numbers.
I think they're still going to go for this, though.
You've got the money. You've got the lead.
Viper ult as well. So much investment into this round from G2. And honestly, I'm not against it, Doug. Any type of round you can win. I don't care if it's 4v2. You got to commit your Viper ult to.
Yeah, you invest
At this point of the game, you just need a round win. You need some type of momentum going forward. NetFRZ knows his job is just to get damage, but Net takes his head clean off. And a chance now to snowball for G2 with the ults they have.
They have ults and they do have a little money to work with. If you take a look at this again. It was a hold from Valen and Trent in market that set things up.
And it's just like I said, G2 aware that they got that Sky Flash out and that Omen Flash out. So now the second time around when they take that contact, they don't have to worry as much. They actually get a fair gunfight.
Here.
Those 50-50s that I was talking about, and they come out on top.
The op no longer in play, and now G2 turning attention A. Satchel on the right, the Paranoia on the left, the Hunter's Fury.
What an ult.
Splitting things, getting a tag.
So close.
A little bit of damage done.
Oh, this is such a good spot for RGL. If they actually commit out of this elbow area, he should be good for one. Not a lot of people pre-aim this.
I like this from Valen though. Cutting noise, freezing the round.
I think he might be worried that maybe the Omen TP behind. They don't know for sure, right? He could be anywhere.
Well, they have a trip covering on both sides. We'll see if that position that you mentioned comes into play. That's where they're headed. Oh, he spotted the bow! JCC's there on the punish. Can Lee find any value with the ult? He finds one, pays for it with his life.
He falls on accident, Doug. But it doesn't matter. JCC killed Valen.
They have so much control now. G2 have been separated. RGL not able to land the shots. They get across. But will the numbers be the difference maker? Trent left alone, a 1v4, flash in his face. The swing is there. And the barrel too.
I mean, JZZ taking things into his own hands, solo aggressing onto Jonah P, and then wrapping all the way around elbow, killing the likes of Valen, who was sitting in that tiles area the entire round pretty much.
It was his positioning that made me think that maybe they try to flip the map and rotate out, but
I mean, he's a monster on Sunset, man. Like, I don't know what is in I don't know what they feed this guy for him to perform like this on this map, but every time he's on Sky, he just seems to find immense value.
Yeah, he's insane.
Like, honestly, he basically solo won this round for them. I mean, Trent just had no idea, right? Like, he didn't see anything.
No, he had no shot. MIBR map point. G2 down 4, and again, the woes have continued since the first half.
I mean, this is a completely different MIBR than what we saw in the last match.
And honestly, a completely different G2 than what we saw at the beginning of this one.
Very true. It seems to be sometimes.
Oh, that's his head. Takes it right off. The flash on the other side. Again, JZZ taking matters into his own hands.
He's so insane.
This might be wraps on this. They've got the neural theft. They have a numbers advantage.
G2
rotating away. Do they come back? They leave one.
Maybe trying to fake the timing. But Satchel's allowing Artson to get there fast. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say Trent could find so much value, but narrowly missing the window. They're going to try to come back, but...
So smart from FRZ to take this aggro angle. He's already readjusting, though. Repositioning. Smoke on the
30
trip.
seconds left.
And FRZ here. They've gotten around it.
Where is this trip? That's a huge kill from Net onto his counterpart.
Trent there to hold. The second falls. Artson left alone. A relatively quiet map out of the duelists so far. And the opportunity to put G2 away here, but it's a big ask.
Oh.
And it's not happening this time around. And G2 gets 9.
And you said it right, Trent in mid, allowing MIBR to see him, keeps 2 people there almost the entire round, right? And that allows G2 to make the rotation all the way back to B again. Artsy, the only person that truly made it to that A site there. Nice. Trent doesn't even have to get any kills there. Just the presence alone to keep 2 people there. Delay the rotations. Play those mind games.
Brute hit. And I like the setup here from the MIBR. You've got the pit B main, you've got the trip covering market. And because of that, they can really ignore that entire side of the map. Turn eyes towards mid.
Scout destroyed.
That's a lot of info gathered, Doug. That's a lot of info gathered. That dog made it a little bit too far for my liking. What does that cam see in mid? Is that a one-way? No, it's just in the open.
Thank you, observers.
And I think G2 are aware of this. I think they're deliberately hiding from that cam.
Oh,
As I say that, Leaf. One taps it.
I think with that, that allows G2 a little bit more room to breathe there. There's no trip covering it either. Look at how far back RGL is. Look at how far back FRZ is too.
Oh no! An uncharacteristic whiff from Trent. He usually hits those. He had that.
Oh, Jonah P was ahead, but the cabbage got to him. So now they know where he is. I thought for a moment he was gonna find a timing, but not the case. Leaf is on a similar mission.
Oh my god!
And FRZ cold with it. Not flinching at all. 13 seconds left. A 5v3. The spike just now making its way into the vicinity of the site. JZZ expecting Jonah P's antics. Leaving things in tatters and shambles for G2.
Valen has to go huge here. And this could be the moment.
Behind him, but he knew it. Still gets a kill. 6 bullets left. Surrounded. Net in a 1v3 with neural theft online. They're going to try to swing him, and they do so successfully. MIBR with a great response.
What a map from MIBR, Doug. Controlling the entire pace of that defensive side. Taking the fight to G2 most of the round. And the MIBR fans in the crowd are going crazy right now.